Well, there we are. And here we are. I'm here with Elaine. Say hello.
Hi, hello.
Hey. Thank you all for joining us. Tonight we're talking about coffee in New York. Unfortunately, we can't take you all for coffee in New York. We certainly wish we could. We wish we were there ourselves. Well, I don't know. Not since last week. No. No. So here we go. The record spin of coffee in New York. Here it's coming at you.
Why don't we meet up? Coffee in New York. You don't know me. You don't know me anything. But still I'd like to get to know you. If someone told me that I'd be on these streets again, after all the painless town has closed me, here in the square, when you were there, I was half a world away. Now it appears we are here on the very same day. So why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? In the springtime could be the right time with a million stars above. Why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? On the final page, sign my name. One more thing, why don't we fall in love? Every writer breathes their characters to life. But only dream they get the chance to meet up. In your words, you spoke as only she could do. So into my soul, hold alone and beat up. Here on this train, it's you again, and you were staring straight at me. Did we forget? Haven't we met in the very same way? So why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? In the springtime could be the right time with a million stars above. Why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? On the final page, sign my name. One more thing, why don't we fall in love? Stars over Brooklyn are clear tonight. And surprises on Brooklyn is holding tight to this New York night. Many lives do we survive? Rinse and repeat the same old rhyme. If only I knew it would be you calling out from town singing, why don't we meet up? Coffee in New York. In the springtime could be the right time with a million stars above. Why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? On the final page, sign my name. One more thing, why don't we fall in love? Meet up, coffee in New York. In the springtime could be the
Oh, that was nice. Very appreciative audience in New York. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're going to do a show dedicated to coffee in New York, of which we'll go through all sorts of things, including how the idea kind of happened, which is an interesting story in itself. Yeah, it is. But leading up to that, of course, we just had Joe Matera here with us for the last week. Of course, you saw him last week on the live stream. But since then, we've done Gig at Hungerford with him, which was very nice. It was very good. We did all of the 3 singles, and he did a little support set. I joined him for one of those. Of course, Paul G was there. He would know that. Robert Parry was there. Who else was there?
Couldn't be there.
You couldn't be there this time. I know you were there. You were there the week before, though.
Oh
you
yes,
know.
I'm always there if I can. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hi to everyone out there. Ingo, you're first in tonight, closely followed by Paul G. I think there's a race going on there. Just to say, Ingo, I have actually sent the box set. We've sent the box set. Although, of course, you've had most of the stuff. It's only the red vinyl that's in there, but at least you got the box to put the rest in. So that's good. Paul, good to see you last on that gig, and well done. And yes, I haven't forgotten to answer your many questions that you've sent me, and I will get round to that. It's been a bit hectic because I've only just done the video for Coffee in New York. In fact, I finished it at 3 in the morning last night.
yeah.
We should say hello to Scott. Scott's been here for the last few weeks, and actually we meant to give you a little shout out. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Thank you. Hello,
So
Scott.
you're obviously in this country, Scott, because you're saying it's chilly where you are. So yeah, well, it might be chilly
Well-
in New York at this point, wouldn't it? Could
You
be a
shouldn't
bit.
assume. Where are you
Yeah.
from, Scott? Where are you tuning in from?
Could,
Let us know.
yeah, could be a little bit. So we were going to show you the box sets. We were going to unpack a box set, but unfortunately, I've sent them all. And so we'll try and do that next week, where we'll kind of show you theoretically what would be inside a box set if you hadn't already bought them. But in case there's anyone out there that fancies buying one, they look pretty nice. They're this lovely kind of pale, slightly turquoise blue colour with a nice little sticker on top.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. They are beautiful. There we are. We've got a competition as always. I think rather than giving away bundles, I think we've been a little bit too generous giving away bundles. We'll bankrupt ourselves. Where any CD of choice, any CD that we have, you can have in answer to this competition. And the competition this week is a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky because you guys have been getting it far too easy. We've been far too lenient on you. So this question kind of foxed Elaine as well, and she should know. She should
It
know.
did. I was
but
silly.
but she didn't. So there we are. So
But
we
I
reckon
do now.
it'll fox most people. We're going to stick it up on the screen. Here we go. So, what is the instrumentation of the brass section on Coffee in New York? And how many of each instrument? So if you listen to it carefully, you might be able to perhaps figure it out. The most correct detail wins. So there. That's an interesting one, isn't it? What is the instrumentation of the brass section on Coffee in New York, and how many of each instrument? If you looked at the video that I'd done, you'd probably think there was about 12 of each, because there's millions of them that are playing through the
I
solo.
thought.
Yeah.
You fooled me.
Yeah, I know, but there we are. We'll find out. What everyone thinks.
Scott's tuning in from Fife.
Fife. Oh, I bet it is chilly up there, man. Yes. I bet it is chilly up in Fife. Great. Okay. Well, just in case you don't know, Scott, all of my blood is Scottish. I have an Australian accent, but my father was Scottish, and my mother was, although Australian, was of Scottish descent. They were all McDonald's. So there we are. And I spent a good bit of time up in Scotland. I did secondary school in the Isle of Skye and Glasgow for my last year, which I spent every penny that I had at the Glasgow Apollo going to see everybody that I possibly could. There we are. We'll come back to us. Have a stab at that quiz question there. No, I've done that wrong. Done it wrong. Yes, it's that one. There, we're back.
So we've got Michael on as well. Hello, guys. Great.
Oh, Michael Dimmick. Geez, you're up early, Michael, or late. What is it? 4 in the morning where you are?
Wow.
Michael's from near my hometown. He's from the Geelong side of Melbourne, basically, in
brilliant.
Australia. And also, Mike, yes, I haven't sent you your. I think it was something about the Korgis that you're missing. I got your email, and I will.
And he can't sleep. Obviously, he can't sleep.
But Jay, yeah, you are up late. I was just telling. We were talking. Elaine and I were talking about time to do a broadcast like this, and I said, you can get America to work, but you can't get Australia to work. It doesn't matter. And there
we are.
He's proved us wrong. Michael's proved us wrong.
Has he got up to use the loo?
There we are. Okay, good.
Smashing.
So we've done the quiz question, and I think now we are actually going to just play you a little bit of a video that we did from Hungerford. This is Joe, Matera, and ourselves doing Red Flag Day.
It's 5 in the morning with him.
It's 5 in the morning. That's pretty early. You're an early riser then, Michael. Well
It's a lovely
done.
time of day, so I've heard.
Yeah.
No, it is a nice time.
Here we go. I'm going to play you Red Flag Day from Hungerford.
We moved here from the suburbs. We love to hear the wind around us. Its melody blew the cobwebs from my mind. Now each and every summer is hotter than the one before it. Angeline can do nothing here but cry. Tonight is there a scent in the air of burning? It's coming for us. Tonight is there a glow in the western sky? Tonight we can feel that the wind is turning. All I ask is why.
Yeah, very good. Great fun to play that. Really, a really good song live, and Joe rocking out. He's looking like a proper rock star. He's almost on his knees on the floor there.
Brilliant.
Yeah, very good, very good. Love that song. Sorry, we got a second. Rick Nicholas is on as well. Hello, Rick, and Rick L. I'm assuming the other one is Rick Lovering, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Hello. Hope you're all good. Paul G, you said Average White Band. Yeah, actually, it is a little reminiscent of the Average White Band. I mean, the Average White Band only had they had a lineup of just 2 saxes. But when they did all of that later stuff with David Foster, Let's Go Round Again, and all of that sort of stuff, they used a much bigger horn section. In fact, I would warrant they would have used sea wind horns, Jerry Hay and all of that, which were, of course, the horn players had played on all of Michael Jackson's stuff. And also the Earth, Wind and Fire, they bolstered up all the Earth, Wind and Fire section at that point. So yeah, very good, very good. Keep guessing about that brass lineup. Keep guessing. Yeah, there we are. What was I going to say? So I think we're gonna just talk about how Coffee in New York started. And I don't know whether Danny Silverman is on here or not. He might be on here, but might not be able to actually comment, because not everyone can do it. It depends on whether you're on a phone or a tablet or a TV. Often if you're on TV, you can't. But I was chatting to Danny, and I can't remember what we were talking about. I'm pretty sure it was on the phone. I don't think it was by email. I think it was actually on the phone. So I don't know whether we were talking about CDs he'd ordered or something like that. But he was in New York, and I was just said to him, I said, we were going to go out on holiday to New England, but it was the second year of COVID, and everyone's going, yeah, states are going to open up. By the time it gets to summer, it'll all be open again. And of course, Biden went, no, let's be careful, no. And we had to cancel our holiday, which is a real pain. And he went, that's a shame. He said, we could have met up. And I went, yeah, we were going to end in New York, could have had a coffee in New York. And he went, yeah, Coffee in New York sounds a good idea. And I'm going, Coffee in New York sounds like a good idea for a song. That sounds like a song title to me. And by this time, with the United Nations stuff, we knew it was location based, that every song we were doing was location based. And also I was always intending to do my own album, which of course will be with you very soon. Just putting the finishing touches to it. In fact, I'm going to stick it on pre-sale probably in the next week. And so this song actually was always intended for my solo album, except that, of course, with most of the songs, any ideas that I had, I just stuck them up on the group chat. And I think particularly John Baker come back and said, I love that chorus, that's great. So I'd just written the chorus, I'd kind of left it open. And so we said, all right, well, Korgis had never really done a soul tune as such, why don't we do that? And interesting, Paul G, you're saying Average White Band. I mean, that was foremost what was in my head with the groove. And when Paul came in and played drums on it, it was like I was quoting Average White Band at him. I was saying, yeah, they would pick up the accents with the bass drum, not with the snare. So, it was very, very much in our mind, that kind of groove, that nothing disturbs, that kind of smooth flow of it. So great fun. So yeah, and Danny Silverman basically said, that was the end of the conversation. And it wasn't until actually he saw the track list of the album, he went, oh my God, you wrote it. You wrote Coffee in New York. He said, I can't believe it. And he said, I've had books published, but actually this is the highlight of my literary career. I'm on the liner notes of the Red Album of United Nations. And so when I told him that we were doing it on the live stream, he was going, oh no. And then I said, if you can send me some video of you having coffee in New York, I'll stick you on the video. And he's going, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. So actually he hasn't got me the video in time, so at the moment he's not on the video for Coffee in New York, but if he sends me the video, I'll plop him in there, and we'll
plop him in.
Plop him in, yeah. And so yeah, that's that's how it kind of started. And then because John had been very keen on the song, and actually James loved it as well, John and I were doing a writing session. We decided that was one of the ones that we'd get stuck into, and John and I wrote the verse of that together, and the bridge, verse and the bridge all together. I think I wrote the middle eight afterwards. Kind of think I had some kind of idea for that, and I'll show you what happens in the middle eight later when we kind of get involved in the song a little bit. It's a bit like there's a kind of bell effect as it goes on. It goes blang, 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 blang. So it's quite interesting hearing that all of those things kind of work against each other. And then actually that tune from the middle eight then comes back right at the end where the brass go ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which a lot of people probably didn't kind of get. But if you listen to it, it's plainly obvious it's a tune from the middle eight. We brought it back over the end choruses. It's something I kind of like to do, is tie things up so that you might not notice at first, but after a while you might go, that's the tune from such and such, you know, devious that I am.
So yeah. Michael was saying he loves the Bee Gees, and he loves coffee in New York, and the chorus gives me Bee Gees vibes. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's that pitch, because I originally sung all of those backing vocals. Why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? And of course, I'm Australian, and the Bee Gees are not Australian. They're British, but they spent most of their youth in Australia, so they have Australian accents. So they have that kind of thing. I don't go quite as far as they do.
It's the teeth.
It's the teeth. It's what it is. So yeah, there kind of is always going to be some kind of similarity in there. Of course, other people came in and put their backing vocals on it as well. I think Danielle put a whole load of blocks on it, and probably James put a lot of blocks as well. We didn't get John to put them on because whoever's doing the lead vocals, we try and keep off the backing vocals, so we just got changes of texture. And of course, in my head, it was always a duet that at the end of the song that they would actually meet up and they would sing this duet at the end as it went out. And so we got Danielle to do that. Of course, I then thought, maybe Dan should be in earlier in the song as well. So yeah, we grabbed her on a little bit of the middle eight as well, and brought her in on that. But that was great fun. We do have a little video of some of the recording of it all in the studio. So maybe we should play you that. We've got Phil Jarvis, our trombone player, who's in, who I do a little bit of talking to him. And it's quite funny because I often go in and I go, "You're on camera," and I have no idea what I'm going to say. I think I did one with Claudia, and I went, "Hello, we're on camera," and she goes, "Yes, right," you know, and she had no idea what we're going to talk about. And so Phil was exactly the same, and no idea what I was going to say. Of course, always putting him on the spot. And then we got a little bit footage of him playing that solo section. As I said to him, we got one take to get it right, no pressure. And then we've got Danielle doing some of the vocals for the end stuff. So should we play him that?
Yeah,
we're playing that little
see.
thing. Yeah, coffee pastiche, I've called it. Here we go. I'm going to stick it up on screen. With you now. Phil Jarvis. Hello.
Hello.
You always sound surprised for that.
What's happening?
So if you're going to pick a location for this song, where do you think that location in the world would be? You're allowed to look at the title.
Oh, I would say somewhere in America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
East Coast or
probably
West Coast?
East
Coast. Yeah.
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 Maybe pick up a bagel or two, maybe.
Pick up a bagel or two. Yes, quite right. So yes, we are centered in New York, and you're doing a little tune called Coffee in New York, and I'm going to take some video of you, and you've got one chance to get this rather nasty solo right. So yes, I'm going to press a play button, and we're going to come back and we're going to record it and see how you did. Pressure's on. Don't be nervous now. Hey, Danielle, why don't we meet up?
For coffee in New York.
Springtime could be the right time.
With 1,000,000 stars above.
Oh, that's what we should do. Oh yeah, yes. Yes, the things we get up to when we're bored. And you've probably seen a lot of them on Facebook where we do those things on the way to gigs and Danielle's going, right, here we are. Where are we going now? And we talk about any old dribble. Yeah. So that's very good. I think we should maybe reiterate the quiz question.
Yes, shall I
this
do
would be
it?
good. Yes, why don't you do it?
Well, I
Shall
don't
put it up
read
on
it
screen
out.
again?
Oh, okay.
Let's put it up. I'll put it up on screen. You can read it from that piece of paper.
I
think it
will.
is-
I will. Being a
I
sweet,
think it is
gone
the
to the
same.
trouble.
Quiz question.
It's a tricky musical question.
Quiz question now. Oh, there we are. There
We are
it
on.
is. There
We
it
are
is.
on,
There
aren't we?
it's arriving now.
There we go. What is the instrumentation of the brass section on Coffee in New York? And how many of each instrument?
Yeah, that's crucial. How many of each instrument
Crucial.
to make that kind of sound?
Yeah.
There we are. Okay, we'll take it back down again. Have we had many guesses for that? I've only seen like,
No.
One?
Only one from Paul, wasn't it?
I think we could have, we could have a few more
But
educated
a couple
guesses.
of people came in late, so let's give them a chance.
Give them a chance.
Yeah.
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 Chance to win a CD of your choice. From the Korgis, of course. It's not just, we're not going to go
Not
out to
any-
it. We're not
not
going to
any
buy
old
it from
CD.
Amazon and, kind of send it off to you. It has to be from the Korgis. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go up and look at the stuff on Sonar of how this thing is. I'm not going to show you the horn section because that might give away how many of them
Careful
there are
now,
there.
careful.
Yeah, and what they are. I'm going to move this a little bit across here just so that you don't lose me when we're doing this. So I'm going to stick this up on screen, but I'll leave the mic on so we can probably turn that off there. We can get a better view of the screen. So as always, at the top there are quite a million backing vocals. Oh, I was wrong. I was thinking it was Danielle and me who did BVs, but actually it was James and me that did BVs. So let's just maybe have a little look at them first. This is the chorus sequence coming up.
Why don't we meet up?
Interesting blip.
Million stars above. Why don't we meet up? Why don't we fall in love?
And so just in case you think, well, doesn't it just make it louder having two people doubling the same thing? But of course it changes the texture altogether. This is my BVs that I put down originally. So this was the original stuff that I put down before James doubled it. And you'll see that there's quite a difference when we put them both together.
Why don't we meet up?
More Bee Gees.
Million stars above. Why don't we meet up?
Okay, so then I'm going to stick, this is just James by himself.
Why don't we meet up?
He does have a better voice than me, I've got to say.
Million stars above. Why don't we meet up?
And so both together.
Why don't we meet up?
So much smoother when you stick the two of them together. And actually, I wouldn't mind listening to What Did We Do on the Middle Age, just to see if there's if any of this bell effect is in the backing vocals. I can't remember whether it is or not, but
Stars over Brooklyn.
no, they're not. And there's a very interesting Steely Dan type chord at the end, which was an afterthought. I changed it right at the end. Coming at you any second now.
New York night.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Very good. I don't think it's. I mean, obviously, there's a load of stuff with Danielle and John singing their leads and stuff at the end. Very, very nice. But for me, the drums and bass on this are really the linchpin of what kind of really hold it together. And I think if you listen to the bridge section, you'll realise that there's stabs all over the place. It's quite a hard thing to play. Let's have a little look. We'll have a look at maybe bridge going into chorus. So the whole chorus really is just a four-piece band. I think it really is just keyboards. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at where piano is. Is there a piano somewhere? Because that's kind of the main instrument. Maybe it's that. Yeah, it is. It's a Rhodes. So. That's the only guitar in it, actually, the chorus. No other guitar in it.
Very tame.
Yeah.
We tamed you for a moment.
So I'm actually gonna put the horn section into that now. If this will let me, let's see if it will. I'm just gonna get their subgroup and stick them into the equation, and that's where we're all doing dang, bang, dang, 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 and I think they're doing boom, dang, dang, boom, boom, bang, bang, something like that. Anyway, I think it is. Let's have a listen and see if we can hear them. Oh. Can't hear anything. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's see if I can find him here. Oh, we probably should listen to maybe if I stick in, let's just stick in the drums and the bass and the brass for the solo section, and this should give you a clue as to how many instruments are there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and this is later on where the tune comes back again. So this is just as we go into chorus 3, I think, at the end. I'll play the chorus before. Oh yeah, sorry, I think we took them out of the first half, so something like that. So tune of the middle 8.
Richard Nicholas is having a guess. Back here. 2 trumpets, 1 trombone. one alto and one tenor sax.
Very good. Etc. That's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we can really give you that's very interesting in there. But you know, all of that brass stuff is great fun to play. As you can hear, it's not perfect. We haven't kind of really corrected everything to the nth degree because we wanted it to sound to still retain a little bit of looseness. And I think it has that kind of edgy kind of New York sound with people reaching for notes. And when I arranged that, it was intentionally with that idea that we're halfway between Michael Jackson and Frank Sinatra, that kind of big band thing is in there a little bit. So yeah, I think that is pretty much what happened. I'm going to come back to us now. So yeah, very good. I always kind of enjoy looking back at that because, you know, when we're mixing and we build them up one by one, but we hardly ever kind of go back and check out each section individually. And so, you know, it's like if it's all sounding good in the mix, we just leave it alone, rather than. Well,
we've got shades of the Brecker Brothers now.
Shades of the Brecker Brothers. Yeah, well, big Brecker Brothers fan, you know. I think I saw I saw the Brecker Brothers, but Michael Brecker do a 10-minute solo at Ronnie Scott's, and it's just that I hung on every note that he played. It was just what a master of his instrument he was, and not just technically, but in his ability to build by tiny degrees. That he would just raise the intensity a tiny bit and a tiny bit more.
When was that?
Well, he was still alive, so it was a good while ago. Probably 90s, I reckon, late 90s, maybe early 2000s, something like that. Yeah, I mean, it could well have been their last tour while he was still alive.
God, that was fabulous.
But yeah. I love all their stuff. Love the sound of it, and of course they're always reasonably brass heavy, aren't they? So you know that kind of works for me. We've had some more guesses here. I'm not going to tell you whether anyone's got the right one or not, but maybe some other guys have a go. So don't say anything. Don't say anything.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
Don't give the game away now.
Got somebody else. Mauro,
South America.
Kyle.
Mauro's from Sao Paulo. And Mauro is the reason that we put Don't Look Back in the set, because he kept saying, play Don't Look Back, we love Don't Look Back.
Here we are.
And I love that song as well. Yeah. Brilliant. Good stuff. Okay, so I think we're good. Elaine, should we talk a little bit about you? What you're doing?
Well, I'm here as your little helper.
As my little helper.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm Santa's little helper. Except, of course, you didn't want me last week because certain Joe Matera.
Well, he had come all the way from Australia. You only come from Cambran.
Do you know it took me over an hour to get here today?
As long as it took Joe to get from Australia to get here today.
Yeah. Yes.
Gotta love diversions. But you came a little bit early, and the reason you came a little bit early is because you were talking about doing your own live stream, which is possibly won't be a once a week thing like the.
No, well, there's a method, there's a story there, you see. It's going to be, it's the strength of a woman, and it's really, I thought that if I did it once a month, then that would suffice.
Right.
So I'm going to have some guests once a month, and we're going to talk about women mostly, obviously in music. And the influences on those ladies, and it's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was just talking to Elaine about several of the quite strong women that I know who predominantly work with men, but they're the bosses. So
Yes.
How does that work? How's the relationship work? I know other people who do. Run their own businesses on the side as well as doing songwriting and
Yeah.
so between us we know quite a few people, very capable people. It probably must be said that probably I work with more female artists than I do male, probably, you know, that's the demographic. I'm obviously in touch with my feminine side enough. Maybe I'll put on some heels and come on your show. Or perhaps that would give the wrong message.
That's not quite the
It's
sort
the
of thing
strength of a man
I was
pretending to be a
thinking of.
woman.
Okay, let's stop this now.
But should we play them the song and the video?
Yes, of
Let's
course.
play them the song and the video.
Just to go with the
So
song.
I'm sure when this is put together, this will form a nice little part of it. It'll be a bit of a trailer for the show, etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I assume this is part of your ongoing recording, isn't it? You know.
Well, it
But,
is.
I think this one is quite close to being finished, isn't it?
It is.
I hope so.
Very close.
We spent a long time on it.
Rome wasn't built in a day, was it?
No, it wasn't. Okay, so I'm going to stick this up on screen. This is Elaine Gilmore, Strength of a Woman. Sorry, make that a bit better.
You're a million miles away, yet at my fingertips, and I don't know what to say, though the words are on my lips. I tried to read your thoughts, but the letters make no sense, as I aim to break the chain of unfortunate, subordinate events. There's an echo from your past that's shouting at us now,
Yeah, The Strength of a Woman.
Yeah, which of course was written
By Ian Mitchard,
Yes.
who I was with earlier in the week.
Oh, were
He was
you?
in on Monday.
Oh, right.
He was in on Monday.
Yes,
and
I
I
need to
actually
catch up.
gave him a copy of all the stuff that you'd done of his to take
Great.
away with him.
Oh, great. That's what I was going to say, because it came about with when he heard my album, the Bacharach album, didn't it?
Yeah.
He sort of had a few songs in mind. I think he wrote a few with me in mind.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a collection building up, but I just having the time to come over and record and go through it. I'm living with a perfectionist. Well, he's a bit OCD. This drummer person I'm married, and of course I bring it home and have a listen. I think, oh no, I'd like to change that bit. I'd like to do something different. So it's been going on a while, but I'm hoping that when I just need to be happy. As women, we need to be happy.
As well, when Ian writes these songs, Ian is quite happy. Often, Ian and I have done 140 songs, something like that, and he will do them. He'll do a song in a day, and what we have at the end of the day is it. And it's usually the full instruments. It's backing vocals, it's lead vocals. It might be me doing lead vocals. It might be somebody else. But Elena's never happy with that
I
kind
came
of...
along and changed a few
Yeah,
things.
she come along and go, but can we have real strings? Can we have a real brass? Can we do that? Can I
and
want to
change something to a disco beat.
Yeah, I want to
Which
do
is
another
something
vocal.
different.
Yeah.
And harmonies in different places and more harmonies. No, so it's anyway, it's just important that I wanted to be right.
Well, the last album, which is lying around across here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I
here.
can't quite see that. Shall I? Can't see it across. The last album. Look at that cover. Kerry, my missus did that cover.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
With a little
It's
direction
beautiful.
from me. It was a little direction from me.
Was it really? Yeah, beautiful. Love is still the answer.
Yeah.
And the idea was that we're watering the flowers. You see they're dead there on that side, and you pour a bit of love on the flowers, and hey presto. But it's a lovely album. I'm really pleased with it.
And of course, there was quite a bit of instrumentation on that. That was a big, a small orchestra really on it. In fact, it's not that small, really, is it?
Not now. No, it wasn't. No. Well, while you're doing something, you might as well go for it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
We
right.
loved the process. We really enjoyed it. So, and it's been really well received. I'm really pleased.
Yeah, and Phil Jarvis, who you saw on trombone, of course, is on that album as well. Phil has not been very well because he fell off his motorbike, and what did he break? 4 ribs?
4 or 5.
4 or
I think.
5 ribs,
Collarbone, 4 or 5.
Collarbone, punctured something,
Collarbone.
didn't he? Yeah, something. Anyway, I
No,
talked
it was his tyre that was punctured,
to
apparently. Yeah, he had a nasty fall. So, oh yes, and if he's watching this, I want my book back, please. We went to
Yeah.
visit him in hospital and took him a book.
no, he's back. He's out of hospital. He's home now.
Yeah,
he
want the
reckons
book back.
he is probably back to some kind of work next week, and
Oh,
maybe
that's
playing
great.
trombone in 3 weeks, maybe something like that. But yeah, I had a long chat with
There
him
we go.
yesterday. So he's on the mend. So anyone that knows Phil, lovely bloke, but he's on the mend.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Attention seeking. I'm
Yeah.
Attention seeking.
Coffee in New York, horn section on that. Nobody has actually got it right yet, but it's close. It's close. So, have another little jiggery pokery on that.
Oh, thank you, Paul G and Scott. Thank you for your compliments.
We will give the prize to whoever got closest. We will give. Oh, sorry. What's?
No, that's about my strength of a woman.
What did he say?
Well, Paul G said it was a brilliant song and video and terrific vocal, Elaine.
Ah, there
I
we
bet
are.
you say that to all the girls.
Well, all different, really. Well, you and I did the video. Ian and I started the song.
Yeah.
And of course, you did the vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
You didn't need help from me on that.
Moving along. Move along.
Yeah, good stuff. What have we got? We probably should do a little bit of news. It was a great gig at Hungerford. I do have a little bit of video footage of Always a Sunny Day, which I just haven't quite put together yet because it's a bit bitty. Robert Parry did some great video footage, but something went wrong with his camera in the middle of it, so we got a bit of a gap. So I might just kind of paste in a little bit of the original video or something like that, and
And your usual videographer,
join it together somehow.
photographer wasn't there, was she?
No, she wasn't. She deserted us. She'd gone swanning off gigging. So yeah, it was a really good gig, and it was a great venue because it was like, at first it was like the figures weren't very good, but they worked really hard on it and they got it in. And the guy, Colin, who was with the group Voyager, who had one big hit, Halfway Hotel.
Gosh, yeah.
That Colin tried, really worked hard on getting it to work, and at the end of it he went, "Oh, I'm so glad we went ahead with this." He said, "You guys," he said, "were like," and he was like, "Were," and I said, "Entertaining?" And he went, yeah, you were, yeah, but you were
More than that.
He said basically there was like lots of joy coming off the stage. It was a really feel-good show.
Yeah,
and that's actually the thing that most people say is it's fun. We are not so full of ourselves that we won't talk to the audience or anything like that, or we don't come on and be.
I mean, it takes a lot
moody.
to cheer me up, but you all cheer me up. Yeah, it is a feel-good show. Wonderful.
Joe has been playing a little bit of guitar on my album, so I'm going to play you a tiny little bit of something. I might play you an interesting bit. This is a song called, I'll have to find it now, sorry, I haven't really done my homework on this, but let me see if I can find it. My album, of course, is called Alienated Nations. We had Ununited Nations Blue, Ununited Nations Red, and now we've got Alienated Nations Black. Well, it's sitting in space, so it looks quite black.
Okay.
It'll be good on t-shirts, I think, black. So hang on, Sana songs, Won't Take Me Long, Al's songs, Alienated Nations, Masters. So I haven't got a video for this, so I will just play a little bit of this. But it's quite interesting because when Joe first heard it, he said it's genre busting. It's a genre busting song. That's what he said. So I'm gonna play you a verse, a chorus, a rap by Al Steele, going into a guitar solo by Joe. The vocal on this is by my good friend Lucy Lawson, who is also going to come to my gig at Chapel Arch. She's going to come up and join us for this song. I love her vocals on this. I actually love this song. It's perhaps is my favourite song that I've ever written. Perhaps. And it's called I Change. And it actually came from something that Kerry said to me, because I think I said to her, "Oh, you're really great, you are, just so easygoing and all that." And she looked at me and she went, "Yeah, but I change." Like everything else, what a good title for a song that is. So I'm gonna find this little ditty here. I'm gonna find verse 2 if I can.
I don't think I've heard this.
Haven't you? Oh, let's play the whole damn thing then, shall we? We'll play the whole thing.
My computer lies in pieces. We're breaking it down bit by bit. to make a score. She's icy cold, he likes it rough. They're loving it more and more. Remembering back when those funny bunny things that we do. I'd laugh at you, you'd laugh at me. You like me now, but just when you learn to love me. When you feel you won the war and you got it all. And it's all a summer ball to be let down sunny. And it's sunny for July, but the weatherman lies. A lie tells a tale, a tale tells a lie. When you feel you won the war and you got it all. And it's all a summer ball to be let down sunny. And it's sunny for July, but the weatherman lies. A lie tells a tale,
Al Steele's rap.
a tale tells a lie.
Lie on the beach and the sun is hot. Your body's tan, but your head is shut. Black clouds rolling in front of the moon. It's a monsoon, come soon in June. Get your hat, get your coat, get your lovey-dovey lover by the throat. Catch your cab to the lab, kick the can, it's a sham. White coat's on, strap him down. Watch the birdie sing like a clown. Her eyes are red, your blood is green. Am I dead? It's obscene. Or was it something I said? Or someone I slept with in your bed? Made you drill my teeth on top and underneath. Rinse from a cup.
Then I woke up.
When you feel you won the war and you got it all. And it's all a summer ball to be let down sunny. And it's sunny for July, but the weatherman lies. A lie tells a tale tells a lie. When you feel you won the war and you got it all. And it's all a summer ball to be let down sunny. And it's sunny for July, but the weatherman lies. A lie tells a tale tells a lie. And it's all a summer ball to be let down.
I really enjoyed that. Oh wow.
Yeah, I like that song a lot. Just one of those ones that kind of went. I was telling Elaine while it was going on that the lyrically it's quite mathematically complicated, as well as the end of every line in the chorus begins the next line. So when you feel you've got it all, won the war and you've got it all, then it's all a summer ball to be let down sunny, and it's sunny for July, but the weatherman lies. A lie tells a tale tells a lie. So yeah, work that out.
What's being said here now? Paul Smith, what are you talking about, Paul Smith? Wasn't it Chris, not Colin?
Yeah, it could have been Chris. Could well have been Chris from Hungerford. Chris Hook. It was indeed
there
Chris.
we are, well observed.
It was
Just
indeed
testing
Chris
you,
Hook.
just
Yeah.
testing. And when does pre-order open for alienated?
I reckon next week, at some point next week, I will have the time to put it up, and I will do that. Yes, I will do
And
that.
Colin saying Hungerford was brilliant, always.
Oh, Colin Warner. Yeah,
Good,
thanks, Col. Good to see you there.
Yeah.
Good to see you and Sue there. Lovely.
Yes, give my love to Sue and see you soon.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do, and I forgot to do it. I was going to put the lyrics up on OneNote, because everyone does lyrics in different ways. Everyone does different methods. Some people use scraps of paper. You probably use paper, wouldn't you? And then you're bringing them in here, and you have notebooks, and you go, hang on, it's not on this notebook. It's that bit's on the other notebook, like that. But everyone's,
don't
everyone's
embarrass me in front of
different.
all these people. I'm a bit old school.
But everyone's different like that.
Well, I have photographic memory. I like to.
And I just, I like to, I change the digital virtually everything. Oh, I know where it is. It's not there. It's somewhere else, isn't it? It's in Korgis stuff. Yeah. Hang on, I'll steal. I gotta find it somewhere, aren't I? Where is it? Oh, maybe it's not there. It could be anywhere, really. So you've lost your notebooks, and
So
I've
my
lost
notebook is. That's
I've
where-
lost my stuff. Yeah, I kind of use I use something called OneNote, which is a Microsoft program, but it's free. But it works on every platform. It works on Android phones, Apple phones, Apple computers, regular PCs, and essentially, if I show you this is just. Oh, I tell you what, if I get one of the Korgis songs, that'll be interesting, won't it? In fact, I could get Coffee in New York, couldn't I? I could even do that.
That might be an idea.
Ooh, there we are. I'll just chuck it up on the screen. So essentially, you can kind of see this. You can write this as big as you want, but you can also put other things on. You could stick videos on there, different alternatives to the lyrics, etc. So I would stick up there. It automatically tells you when it was and it was written, etc. And we have one of them for every song that we do. But I could put across on the right-hand side, I could put alternative lyrics, etc. And often I would put up on the original things like Bringing Back the Spirit of Love. I put up the original demo where I first had the idea for the chorus and was sending it through to James and John. So all of that old stuff is kind of still up there, and sometimes interesting to kind of go looking back at it. Even all the stuff for the liner notes for the album and everything, I'll just kind of stick on OneNote, so I can theoretically always find them, except for I change.
Just not right now.
Yeah, exactly. There we are. Any more guesses for that
No.
horn section?
No, we haven't had any more guesses.
No more guesses for the horn section.
Did everybody hear the question?
Well, we'll do it one more time, but I think we're running out of time because I
Yeah.
think we have to pick a winner.
Wow.
And at the moment, it's going to be someone who got closest.
That was. What was it? Richard Nicholas.
I think it was Richard Nicholas got closest.
It was.
So let's just reiterate the question one more time. If I can get this to work. Yeah, of course I can get it to work. I'm just going to stick it up on the screen.
Stick it up.
Stick it up on the screen one more time. What is the instrumentation of the brass section on Coffee in New York, and how many of each instrument? Most correct detail wins. So that is... this is
10 seconds.
yeah. this is a format that I use for most things that have orchestra on them. When I was doing orchestrating all the stuff for the Albert Hall for the Music Man project, I used this arrangement of horns. When I was doing your album, I did this arrangement of horns. When we did the Korgis with orchestra, I used this arrangement of horns, and I can more or less get whatever I need from it. So the first thing is there's 6 of them. 6 of them. So I don't think anyone guessed 6. I think, was it Paul that said 3 of each?
Richard. Oh yeah, Paul said 3.
I think Paul might have said 3 of each. But it is in fact 2 trumpets, 2 2 saxes in this case, but they would be 2 woodwinds. So the sax might be playing, they might be playing saxes, or they might be playing clarinet and flute, or it might be like 1 sax and 1 flute. Like on Born Under a Full Moon, there's flute that comes in every now and then, so we'd be down to 1 sax in the section at that point. So I try and make sure that you could play it live every time, and 2 trombones. So that gives them the ability to go just brass. Those that don't know the difference between brass and woodwind, woodwind's got a reed and brass has got a mouthpiece. So trumpets and trombones are brass instruments, and they sound clearer, cleaner probably than the saxes. They don't sound buzzy like the saxes sound. Of course, the saxes are a great sound in themselves. You listen to the instrumentation, the solo particular in Coffee on New York, the trumpets and trombones often play stuff, and then the saxes might play stuff. Because I haven't got a 5-piece sax section that I'm using on it, sometimes I'll use the trombones to double in the bottom end of the saxes, so it feels like there's more of them. And sometimes, you know, I might use the saxes to fill in for the middle ground of the trumpet section, so it feels like more of them. But I find it a very useful combination to have those 6. I can get more or less what I want in most circumstances, and it means that they could be played live. We need 6 people to play them, but they can be played live.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And that's it. So I think, yeah.
So
Scott, who's the winner?
Richard Nicholas.
Richard Nicholas, well done. Very good. Yeah, you were only 1 out. You said 1 trombone. I generally use 2 trombones because the trombone's a really versatile instrument. It can play up, you know, around the middle C of a piano quite easily. It can go quite a bit higher than that, but will still sound quite soft even when it's high. Or it can go very low. If you've got a bigger bore trombone, you can get way down to the bottom below the bass stave. So it's quite a versatile instrument from that point of view. So yeah, I would always think of it as, you know, we'd have a bass trombone or a trombone that has what they call a trigger, which allows it to play a couple of notes right at the bottom, doing some of the bottom end of the section, and then another trombone that was much up bridging between the trumpets and the trombones, and then the saxes often would fit in the middle of there somewhere, you know. And when they all play together, that's kind of wow. Not like that.
So Richard, you can choose.
Yeah, whatever CD you'd like. You don't have to choose. What I should tell you, of course, is original albums that were out. If you haven't, you know, if there's anything that you're missing in your collection, because we had Cartoon World, Cool Hits followed that, then the Orchestrations album, and then Ununited Nations Red. Ununited Nations Blue, and then Ununited Nations Red. And there also, we have a few other things, like I think we have a couple of these left of James Warren's Innocent Bystander, his solo album, which was just before Cartoon World. And then some of the older CDs that we've just taken delivery of are the Korgis by Appointment, which is got a load of kind of greatest hits stuff on it, and the Korgis collection, which we've just taken delivery of, which has a whole load of outtakes from This World's for Everyone and stuff. And then we have something called Something About the Korgis, which is a CD and DVD set. So the DVD set on that is the whole of the Korgis Unplugged, which was James, Andy and John all doing a 3-piece unplugged thing. It sounds bleeding brilliant. It sounds really good. And then the other CD has remakes of Everyone's Gonna Learn Sometime, If I Had You, and a good few other things, and then a load of curiosities here and there.
So how do you pick one?
How do you pick one?
Yeah, get the pin.
We had a couple of guys, and someone who's just been in contact with me who was at Hungerman and bought about 60 quid's worth of stuff. And obviously still wasn't enough. He come back and said, I'm listening to your stuff. I think it's like amazing. And he's just bought more.
Wonderful.
There's a couple that he didn't buy on the night that he's just come back and bought more of them. So he's obviously, if he lives with anyone, she's going to be really, really fed up with the Corgis by now, I reckon.
She'll love it.
Yeah. So it should be good. So, just let us know what CD you fancy.
Richard, you said, I missed the second trombone, yes.
yeah, but you're pretty good other than that.
Close.
Pretty good other than that. I think probably if I was listening to it.
Valiant and said, well done, Rick. Congratulations. Yeah. A different winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's been dominated by Paul G and Rick Lovering generally, these
Paul.
competitions.
How are you going to sleep tonight now, Paul?
Anything else we need to cover? I think we've done most of the stuff on the list. Not that the list is, by any means exhaustive. We'll try and show you the box set next week. I reckon next week we're probably going to do Born Under a Full Moon. However, I haven't got a video for that at the moment, and it might be a tall order for me to get it together in time. Yeah, I know.
Well, you don't need to sleep tonight, do you?
But the other, there's another couple of songs that we don't need videos for. Oppenheimer, of course, is on the Red Album. We covered that long ago on a live stream, but it's probably worth revisiting that because some very interesting stuff on that. So we might just skip one and go back to Born Under a Full Moon before long. That's another one I'm going to be doing on my gig because we haven't been doing it with the Korgis. And also Coffee in New York we're going to do on my gig at Chapel Arts in Bath on January the 18th. And then actually not a lot of people know this. I've got to find it now. On the 25th we are playing in Cardiff. We're playing at the Earl Haig Club. It's a multi-bill thing, but we will be doing about an hour and a half set. So the local group, the Semantics, are doing something. Miley Goss, who was from a band that are becoming a little bit famous. They've just got a record deal or something like that, but I can't remember what they're called. Sorry. But of course the Korgis. And this is the Earl Haig Club, which is a club that I play often with my other band Roosevelt. And it's a great venue. People like Albert Lee, Focus all do gigs there. And so that is in aid of charity as well. So that's a good cause. It will be packed. So I think tickets are going on sale today from Eventbrite. I will, of course, put them up on the website, but I think they will sell out. That event sells out every year because the guy Andy from the Semantics does that gig every year, and it always sells out. So it'll be a great night.
Nice night, yeah.
It'll be mayhem on stage. I think there'll be a lot of bleeding equipment. But
Good.
will be a lot of fun. So there we are. Gigs, see you there. If you can get to my gig at Chapel Arts on the 18th, I guarantee it will be great fun. Elaine's on stage with us. Danielle's on stage with us. Of course, Paul Smith is, of course, on drums. My good friend Alan Vaughan is on bass. Nigel Hart, who, of course, played keys with the Korgis for a good while and is my business partner at Shabby Road, is on keys. And my good friend Sean McBride is on sax. And he's also playing the part of Trump in Putin and Trump the musical. So we're performing that in its entirety. It's only about 21 minutes long. We'll start the second set with that. And may the best man win. Putin or Trump?
What if they shout for more?
What if they shout for I'm not writing any more songs. But there's some good ones there. Some great ones in Putin and Trump the musical. Paul Griffin, of course, Paul G, who was on here, co-wrote one of the songs. In fact, he instigated a song called Get to the Frontier, where we are pretending that Trump was a train enthusiast when he was younger and went traveling around the Eastern Bloc countries in search of steam trains and encountered a young KGB man called Vladimir Putin. That's the first time that they met. And of course, they caught up much later where Putin helped him to win his first election, and then of course has had a little bit of a hand in this one as well, putting a few funny things around. Well, there was a whole of things what it was kind of proved to be, or they reckoned it was anyway, Russian interference, where they were showing people voting in 3 or 4 different states, etc. So which all went viral.
But we know what went on.
Well, actually, we have no bleeding idea what went on whatsoever. And I think the further we go down this route of AI and false news everywhere, no one's going to know what's going on anywhere.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Keep smiling.
Keep smiling. Keep shining. Knowing you will always count on me. There we are. I think we should
Cheers, guys. Yeah, have a great night.
Thank you. We're going to play the brand new video of Coffee in New York. I finished this at 3 in the morning.
Let's do it.
So
Yeah.
if there's any mistakes, that's why. That's why.
No
Thanks so
excuses.
much. We'll see you next week, and have a lovely week. I'm going to stick this on now if I can find it. Yeah, I think this is it. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
Why don't we meet up? Coffee in New York. You don't know me, you don't know me anything, but still I'd like to get to know you. If someone told me that I'd be on these streets again, after all the painless town has caused me, here in the square, when you were there, I was half a world away. Now in the place, we are here on the very same day. So why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? In the springtime could be the right time with a million stars above. Why don't we meet up for coffee in New York? On the final page, I sign my name. One more thing, why don't we fall in love? Every writer breathes their characters to life, but only dream they get the chance to meet up. In your words, you spoke as only she could do. So into my soul, cold, alone, and beat up. Here on this train, it's you again.